Hi, Art here. I'm sitting on my balcony with Toronto behind me. Over the past few years, I've been writing some devotional thoughts that I call GRACINs. GRACINs are little scoops on God's grace. And I thought that I'd start something new. I thought that I'd like to start sharing these GRACINs with you by posting one a week. And GRACINs are basically viewing life through the lens of God's grace. They're mainly taken from my everyday life experience. And so I'm going to start by reading GRACIN number 1, entitled Jesus in a Tree. And it goes like this. Perhaps you've read the Bible account of when a short fella named Zacchaeus chose to climb a tree. But have you ever heard of Jesus being seen in a tree? I hadn't, not until I saw him myself just the other day. It happened when I was out on my morning walk, finding myself standing in the middle of a forest. I was suddenly struck by the breathtaking array of autumn hues and colors that surrounded me. It seemed that in only a matter of days, the familiar greens of the trees had been replaced with vivid yellow, orange, and red tones. As sunlight hit the trees, millions of leaves seemed to instantly come alive with brilliant color. And that's when I saw him. Oh, I didn't see him physically standing on a branch waving at me, but he was getting my attention nonetheless. As I enjoyed the view of the autumn foliage, it occurred to me that I was witnessing something ingeniously spectacular, and it reminded me of the beauty of life in Christ. Have you ever stopped to consider what actually takes place physically for leaves to change color? Here's a quick little lesson. Chlorophyll is what gives plants their green color. During the fall, trees begin to shut down their food-making factories. And among other changes, the green chlorophyll disappears from the leaves, and we begin to see the yellow and the orange and the red colors. Small amounts of these colors were in the leaves all along. They just weren't seen because they were covered by the green chlorophyll. Gazing at the trees, I found myself thinking that chlorophyll is very much like the dead work religious practices of many Christians. Without even knowing it, one's occupation with trying to serve God through self-effort actually ends up hiding the spectacular life of Christ that is within. Unknowingly, many well-intended Christians are experiencing far less than what God has in store for them, and the brilliance of Jesus within goes undetected by those around. Over the past few years, I've begun to see more and more evidence of Christ in me coming out. The chlorophyll of my life is being consumed by his life activity. He is living his life in and through me by the Spirit. As I've made a conscious choice to stop feeding the old law-based hunger that once controlled me, I find myself desiring a much simpler diet. Jesus. The result is like that of the autumn leaves. What was there all along is beginning to be displayed in brilliant color. Jesus in a tree.